sight, out of my head, the blind leading the la 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 sign of the times, out of sight, out of my hand, the blind leading the blind leading the blind hand, the sign of the times, out of sight, out of my hand, the blind leading the
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you didn't know. We're back right here on the Value Wrestling with the IWCP, the Independent Wrestling Community Podcast, right here on YouTube. I'm the Big Tap, along with the one and only Mr. Z, the soon-to-be super heavyweight luchador, Senor Z. C, who's ready to get chopped. C, more chops. C. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is the...
No.
Yes, Mr. Z's been talking a big game in the back here. I think we need a little phone call. We may have to set up something this weekend. But some big names coming in 2025. Will those names make the list for the Choppy World Tour? Will they make the list and put their names in the Choppy Hall of Fame? Time will only tell.
Yeah, well, not really talking a big game. I mean, y'all folks have seen it. That's a shotgun chop.
On camera. No, he's not talking a big game, but off camera, oh yeah. Don't let him fool you, folks. He's already calling for shotgun chops in the chat. I mean, what does he want? Is he calling out Eddie Kingston? Minoru Suzuki?
That's a machine gun. No. I would like to live to see the age of 41. Thank you very much. If Minoru Suzuki's doing the chopping.
We'll see. We'll see if you make it there, sir. Because we don't know how big of a bang 2025 is going to start off with.
He might take it literal and pull out a shotgun. Let's not get him started, okay?
He did pull a gun on a subway train. So, I mean, anything's possible. And, of course, I know we talked about it and we keep saying it's done. It's over. No more chops for 2024. But what if on Saturday afternoon, and there's a lot of speculation, Big Ugly not telling us a lot of details about who's going to be at this show. We know a few names. He might have thrown out a couple of names in his video earlier on Facebook, but he said there's some prizes. There's going to be some surprises. Could there be one more choppy in 2024?
Oh, no.
Could there possibly be one more to go?
We'll make an exception depending on who it is.
Oh, yes. No, I know.
We'll make an exception depending on who it is.
But you don't know who might be in town.
If anyone caught it,
Go ahead.
Real quick, I don't know if anyone caught it. I know the New Japan Rebound podcast came out on Christmas. Hopefully everyone has watched it by now. Hopefully more people do watch it. But that shout out, man, like that was awesome. That woman is on her way to Japan as we speak. Was getting ready to go to Japan to work with Marvelous. I mean, that was a cool shout out.
Yes, no, and it's sad for the match between Sam and Amira. It was corrupted and it was glitchy that we weren't able to edit it, save it for whatever reason. The one match on that card that we really loved to get out there wasn't doable. We've got a lot of the other Ugly Dojo's matches from that show. We had all types of technical difficulties in a new building, but we worked it in, doing some redubbing We got 2 more matches to go. We got a big match. I mean, that big match. El Chupacabra, Drake Frost, the Dart Fox, Obsidian Adonis, Illumide, triple threat match. It was amazing to watch, and we can't wait to recover and review that one more time.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yep.
I think we're at that point. If we end up in certain venues where it will, unfortunately, folks, it won't be live, but we'll redub and make sure it gets to the masses.
We will have to
But
see.
hopefully, we won't have this issue next time.
We will have to see, ladies and gentlemen, how everything goes coming up in the future. Making some changes, making some moves, doing some things to make this groove work the way that it should. So 2024 may not go out the way we want it, but I think 2025 could be an excellent time, an excellent party. But again, the Big Ugly Show out of Vacaville, California this past Saturday was an amazing show. We have several of the matches up on the show under Ugly Dojo Review. We got 2 more to do to get out. We're going to get those out, hopefully out tomorrow for y'all, and get those all finalized, depending on what's going on. I'm still waiting for somebody to reach back out to me to make some plans. I won't say names. Worst case scenario, we'll see them on Saturday. Why? Because we're going to the Ugly Dojo Mayhem Matinee Show in Sacramento, California. Limited seatings, but a lot of hype behind this show. They may be able to squeeze a few more seats in this building. So check it out. The socials in the box. You can find all the details about the Ugly Dojo Mayhem Matinee Saturday. 12 p.m. is bell time. I believe it's 2122 X Street behind the Pancake Circus in Sacramento. Find a parking spot in the alley. Do not park in other vendors, Pancake Circus. I forget the other places that might be around there. Don't park in another business's parking section. If you have a question, you can always find somebody at the dojo and ask where to park. I'm sure they will make sure you are in a good spot. But we're going to be there nice and early because we got to get a good spot to unload what we need to unload and set up. It's going to be a very small venue. Very small venue, very intimate venue, from what I understand. Very limited seating, very tight. Should be interesting. We're going to have some fun doing this show. Going there to support a couple of friends that we are working with on things, and we can't wait to see them in action. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, who's not a big fan of matinee shows? I mean, we're going back to the age of when, like, my pops was going to Saturday afternoon shows at the Cow Palace. So,
Yes,
that's great.
yes, anything is possible. These matinee shows should be something special, should be something fun. This is going to be our first one. We're ready for it. We're excited for it. It'll definitely be something special. Can't wait to check that out on Saturday in this venue, in this building. Should be some fun stuff. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, there's some other wrestling actually going on that same night. I forget exactly who's having a show. It might be East Bay Pro. But if you check the links in the description below, I think we've got everybody covered. There's going to be some other great action going on in the evening. But if you want a good afternoon show on a Saturday, come up to Ugly Dojo's Mayhem Matinee in Sacramento, California.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, heck, get there early enough, have some breakfast, and then come check out the show.
Oh, exactly. You can stop right there, the Pancake Circus, get you a nice hot breakfast, and then come check out the show. Just got a message from Fighting Spirit Pro here. They're sending their videos announcing their big show on January 4th in Atwater, California. If you're in that area and want to catch a show, they're going to be back there doing their thing in January. So another company.
And that's the hybrid. That's cool.
Yeah, that's
I
show.
mean, and Dad knows it. Get this one.
Yep. Anyways, yeah, they sent us an Instagram message. So if you want to catch that, you can definitely go catch that in Atwater. Let's see here. Well, that somebody screwed up on that. Somebody screwed up on that. It looks like I see some big names coming to this. But I can't read the Oasis Pro stuff on this flyer here. Let's see if I can pull them up. Over here, it looks like they've got a show, but I can't read the dates or the information.
Oh no.
All right,
no.
yeah, there is a show Saturday night, December 28th at the Gilman Brewery in Berkeley, 6 p.m. Oasis Pro taking place. Oasis Pro We Active, I believe is what they're calling the show. I can't really read the spelling in there. But anyways, yes, Baby Huey will be a special guest lead interviewer of the Linda Mafia's press conference. That's going down. So that'll be happening. So if you want to check out some Oasis Pro, the Dark Fox Illuminae going to be in action against Nick Sanders, Kenny K versus Dom Cyrus versus Vinny Mazzaro, if I get those names right. Alpha Zoe in action against Elliot Ray. The High Council, of course, taking on the South Pacific Santas, excuse me. The High Council in a 6-man tag match, the whole High Council and the South Pacific Santas will also be in action at that event. So if you're looking for some great action, and if you caught any of the action from the Ugly Dojo event, Ja Jewel, the Crazy Cajun, will also be at the show. We have that match where he took on Tim Brogan, I believe it is.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at the sheet right at the moment, but yeah, no, great action there. Yeah. So if you want to see some more Ja Jewel before the end of the year, there's a show going on at Oasis Pro at the Gilman Brewery, 6 p.m. in Berkeley, California. So, I mean, there's a lot of action to get into on Saturday night. You can join us at the Ugly Dojo event for the Matinee Mayhem, and then head out to Berkeley for that show. Or if you don't want to go to Berkeley, like I said, East Bay Pro Wrestling having a show in Pacheco, California. There are going to be some names. That starts at 7 p.m. at 110 Seconds Avenue South, Suite D8. Some solid stuff here. OC Hayes versus DLA. Our boy Anthony Nova challenging Brandon Nash for the PSG Championship. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, Mohawk. The tag team champions of Mohawk taking on Black Light Gunna. So, yes. Okay. Andrew Case in action against Matthew Morrissey. So, yeah, some action taking place with East Bay Pro Wrestling on Saturday night. Also, and this is what we do, ladies and gentlemen. We want to bring you the best information, try to get you all out to these local independent shows. Why we want independent wrestlers, independent bookers, all these people to come join us on this. Unfortunately, this week, no guest host, no special interview. Last 2 weeks have been great with the SPW heavyweight champion, the undisputed reigning champion, 480 days, maybe closing on 500, close to it at least. Illumide, and then of course Big Ugly JD Bishop joining us on this channel, joining on this very program last week, and nobody wanted to pick up the call for this week, and that's okay. Don't gotta got everybody every week, but hey, just always know there may be availability, or we'll work to find you an available date that works for everybody to come on, help promote whatever event you're going to be at going on. We want to make sure we help everybody get a piece of the action and make independent wrestling great again. Let people know that you can catch all this great independent wrestling that is out there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was great having the guests that we've had so far on here. I mean, it's always a pleasure having the champ on here, and letting the world know who he is, and then having Big Ugly on here was really good. So yeah, like you said, folks, the door's always open. Just got to let us know. We'll make something happen.
Yes, and of course, next Thursday will be a big Thursday because it'll be the very first IWCP of the new year. That's January 2nd. Who's going to jump on January 2nd and kick off the year right? that is the big challenge I'm going to throw out. Who is going to be out here ready to talk to us about great shows coming up, talk about January, talk about 2025? Who's coming to party with the value of wrestling? Who wants that hot seat to make all the big announcements? So tell us what's going down, what's going on, who, what, when, where, why. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know what you're saying. I'm actually looking at my January calendar right now, and it's it's
It's a little thin.
it's there.
What's up,
It's a little thin.
Bishop?
Yeah.
Welcome to the party, Bishop. Thank you for joining us. And Bishop, if you have any information that you can share about Saturday's show, drop it in the chat. We did talk about it. The Mayhem Matinee show. Definitely something you want to come out. It's going to be a small venue. So make sure you're reaching out through the social medias, links in the description of this video below. If Bishop, if you have any insight to share with the people why they need to come out and see this, drop it in the chat. Share what you can. I know I've heard, I saw a video with Big Ugly. He kind of talked about there's some things going on. So it should be interesting. There might be some anyways, there might be some surprises. I promise you I can talk. So we shall see. Oh, yes. Hey, you know what? It's the holiday season. You never know who's in town seeing family. Of course, not everybody, but hey, you never know who's coming in. Who's coming by to say hi. Whether it's blood family or family, because, you know. What? Hey,
You keep throwing it out there.
No,
I
mean,
think you get more pleasure on watching me get than anything else.
ladies and gentlemen, he actually, I get a kick out of it. It is a fun time, but he gets as much fun out of it doing this, standing up and taking these shots and still standing and still coming back for more. So, I mean, don't let him get you fooled here like he's being punished in some way. Like, he doesn't want to do this. He's more than excited to do this, especially with the names that are on the list.
No, I'm more in shock that my son, the little man, is going out of his way to ask people to do this.
Yes. He's requesting people. I still got one more video to do. Jesus, I keep forgetting I have that other 2 videos to do and throw together to get up on the channel for that choppy. That might be after the season, unfortunately. It's just not worked out in the favor. We're just so busy with so much stuff. Busy day today. Trying to get some things finalized, and of course, this Saturday is going to be a busy day. Sunday, maybe the time to get that up right before we come out with the yearly roundup, the weekly roundup podcast, where we do the whole yearly announcements. We're going to talk about everything. Mondays are booked up. Tuesdays, we do your Raw review. Wednesday, January 1st, the very first New Japan Rebound podcast on your New Year's a day will be coming out, covering all that. And then the very first Thursday of January, January 2nd, the IWCP, the Independent Wrestling Community Podcast, will be back. Yes, Dorian saying there's going to be so much young talent on this show, along with some vets in the wrestling community. It's going to be a great show. It's definitely going to be something special.
We
definitely,
need it, folks.
Definitely, so there's something coming out to see. It's going to be some fun times.
Yes.
And
I was gonna say you bring up the beginning of the year, and we're doing our end of the year review. The first New Japan Rebound podcast of the new year will have the final show of 2024 leading into wrestling. And I could just tell you this: David Finlay, not a happy man. So we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, it's going to be great to hear all of that, and we'll get more of that on Wednesday as we begin to get closer into all of that, or we'll get more of that on Sunday to get ready for Wednesday. Lots to come. And, of course, World's End coming at you Saturday evening. So, I mean, if you want to catch some local wrestling action in the afternoon and then get home, I mean, why not come out to the Ugly Dojo Mayhem Matinee show catch some great local independent wrestling. Then you can rush home or rush down to the local bar, Wings, Buffalo Wild Wings, Dave and Buster's, wherever they're going to play World's End. I'm sure there's plenty of places if you really want to look out for it. Now you can probably go watch this pay-per-view live with other wrestling fans, or you can always go sit home in your comfy chair and watch it right there. So that'll be a lot to talk about. The World's End coming for AEW. Sometimes people might say in more ways than one, but independent wrestling, it's great stuff. And 2024 for independent wrestling is coming to a close. And there's been so much great action, so many of these young upcoming names out here that we've seen in all these different places, and just excited to see more and can't wait for 2025 and watch the fire burn as all these great talents, all these great minds, you know, young guns to the vets that do this, that have been doing this, that have the history, that help run these shows. You know, I think 2025 is going to be a big year, and we're going to help make it a catalyst to be a big year for independent wrestling, whether it be Dojo, SPW, Collectible Stampede, and hopefully we get to start working with some of these other companies that are out there doing their thing. Who knows where we're going to show up next? We're always open to an invite. We're always ready for a discussion. But, you know, we love following a lot of the people we work with. You know, we love following Illumide. We definitely love being anywhere Shupi is. We can't forget about Realm of Warriors. They're going to start off the season in March with the new year, getting themselves going back in Lodi. So that'll be a lot of fun. Stockton Con setting up for February. We should be there, and that'll be a fun time. And right now, so far, I've seen Booker T and Joe Henry have made the list for the winter event. This is going to be fun. Will Joe Henry step up and join the Choppy Choppy World Tour? Could we get Booker T to step up and do the honors? And now, do we get Booker T to do it, or do we call on King Booker?
You know, it doesn't matter who we're calling on to do it. The fact of being chopped by a Hall of Famer, I'm all for it.
A Hall of Famer, or even a future Hall of Famer. I mean, you got Joe Henry on one side and Booker T.
Yeah.
Maybe we get both of them.
No stereo. I'm saving that for one occasion only.
I mean, we can do them separately.
Yeah.
I mean, we're looking down the list. January looks like there's a big date in January because the 19th, the third Sunday in January, SPW starts 2025 off hot and heavy with loyalty, and we already know, already in the books, Jordan Oasis, Timothy Thatcher. They're going to be on this show.
Yeah.
Jordan Oasis, of course, the WWE ID.
Like January. That's all I can say is, like, we're starting off the year hot. Let's go.
And who knows, by the time we get to April, and that fourth week of April, because it has to be the fourth week of April, when SPW celebrates its biggest event in wrestling history, independent wrestling, SPW is going to make a thunderous the sound of thunder is going to hit when SPW brings you their 25th anniversary show, One Supreme Night, on April 27th, 2025, 25th anniversary show. After 25 years of the show, does SPW go WWE style? Does One Supreme Night become two Supreme Nights?
You know, I did see something that someone said that's a bad idea, that they're starting to do like these big events. They're going to do. They said Royal Rumble would be pointless of doing two nights. I was like, no, not really. They can make it happen.
You could and you couldn't, because you could end both shows with Rumbles, because you have the Women's Rumble and the Men's Rumble. I don't know if that's necessary. I mean, I've heard Money in the Bank. I don't know if that one's necessary. I think you can balance it out, make it all work, and come together and work quite well. I don't know if we need that many two-night events. WrestleMania has always made sense. SummerSlam, I think they're getting a little carried away, because, I mean, SummerSlam is one of the big original four. But, I mean, I guess if you make it feel like the biggest show of the summer, you can really pull it off. And if they're trying to compete with Tony Khan, who's trying to make All In the big show, and then it's all out. I guess SummerSlam needs to be that way. But the rest, I just don't know. I mean, you could do a Rumble 2 nights, but do we really need it? I mean, wrestling's got to be special. And, that's what makes independent wrestling. It's not overexposed in certain ways. But we need people to come out and watch all these great shows. We need to book out these houses. We need to book out these buildings, because independent wrestling is an amazing time, an amazing thing. And you need to come out and catch some great, amazing independent wrestling.
Of course. I mean, you imagine just all the talent that it's like you got to people need to know is that all the talent that you see on TV today has came from somewhere, and you would love to go see where they're starting from. Oh, we've got a lot of young talent right now that's just doing insane. Bishop Dorian, for one, making a wave. Young talent. Who knows where he'll end up in the future?
With a lot of great things coming up in the new year, we can't wait to get 2025 started. Next week, we're going to be here. Who will be the special guest on that show? I don't know. That's the gauntlet. That's the challenge. Somebody needs to step up and sign their name into that. Start your 2025 off with a big, big bang. Bang. Let's do it. I challenge somebody out there to step up, take that opportunity, grab onto that ring, and come out here and tell us why 2025 is going to be your year. Maybe that's the big catalyst that'll set the direction on fire. Who is going to come and set 2025 up?
Being your year. And I mean, like you said, you were leading into one Supreme Night that's going to happen in April. Come on here and tell us why you want that main event slot. I mean, maybe convince Big Time he doesn't need it.
It's not about need, ladies and gentlemen. It's not about need. I mean, it's just the love and the passion. You almost want to be in that main event spot. I mean, I don't know how to dance and I don't know how to tango, but I mean, I still want that big spot. I still want to just be on the card for this great show, being a part of SPW the way we are, working with SPW. You see all the excitement and the build for this show, the amazing opportunity that's laid out before it. I mean, when duty calls, maybe it'll be time to step up. And as we go to all these different wonderful shows, it's a lot of fun. And who knows what'll progress out of it? We went to one show, I wound up being a ring announcer. Yeah. Who knows what's next? Who knows what opportunities will come knocking next on the door of the Value Wrestling, or each of our doors independently, as we progress forward and find find out what is going to happen next and what 2025 has in store.
Oh yeah, no, but definitely. I mean, it's like we go to these shows, and one, I'm so humble for the doors that have opened, going into just what we've been through with doing the Value of Wrestling, and the doors that have opened for us, and can't be more appreciative of those doors opening and the people that have accepted us into their embrace. A beautiful thing. And like you said before, it's not so much wanting that slot or wanting a moment in the sun. It's just they've got us motivated to want it just as bad as they do. You can feel the energy from these guys.
I want it. I want a spot. I want a spot. I want to be a part of One Supreme Night. I want a spot. No, I mean, there's no doubt. It's a want. Yes, they've driven me there. The pieces of the puzzle. It's not just about a want. It's a desire, a need. It's almost a necessity. It's got to happen. I mean, I don't know what we do. Maybe I get that opportunity. Maybe I get to be the Tony Schiavone for SPW, even for one night. Maybe I get to step in the ring with the appeal and talk to them about One Supreme Night. I mean, imagine standing in the ring with all four of those guys talking about how they may or may not be reigning One Supreme Night. Who knows where they'll be? Will the champ still be the champ when it comes to One Supreme Night? I mean, he's closing out 2024 saying he is One Supreme Night. There's no doubt in his mind he is going to carry One Supreme Night and going to be the One Supreme Night. But we don't know if that's going to happen. We still have 3 months between here and there. Can the champ hold on to that title going into a record-breaking scenario here? I mean, we're at closing in on 500 days, I believe, somewhere in this. I need statistics. I need record bookkeepers to get into this and clarify exactly where we are on those numbers. But I mean, how would you not want to be a part of the show? How would you not want to be in the ring with the likes of Nathan Brick, Jason Xavier, Jack Tracy, and the Dart Fox, the Obsidian Adonis, the SPW champion as it stands right now, Illumide.
Hey,
But again, you
well, I
know,
mean, you sit there. I was like, maybe you didn't watch the rebound. He called you out at this point. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, I'll take it from you as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, of course, if I had to get in that ring and play the Tony Schiavone for SPW, the champ, and then everybody would have to understand I've got to ask those hard questions, and there's a lot of questions that got to be asked and may need to be answered. Can the champ hold on to the title until one Supreme Night is your first big question. And can the champ,
As he said,
come out of one
so you
Supreme
said 3
Night
months,
as the
3
champion?
months?
Yes.
Yeah. That's still a lot of time. And see, and I was just thinking about it right now. I would not want to be that man in there, let's just say with an appeal on a mean streak, if not all the gold is being held by then. Like, if you want to get in there and ask those questions, by all means. But I'll just make sure that we got EMTs on standby, because we all remember what Jekyll's did, and that was unprovoked.
Yeah. But I mean, the appeal have closed out 2024 on a hot streak, gathering all the gold.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, I will reference, very horseman-like. They've got something to show. Will they be holding all the gold when it comes to one Supreme Night? That's a big question. We're going to have to wait and see. 3 months from now, anything's possible. But they're closing out 2024 on a hot streak, carrying all the gold as the New Year's ball is going to drop as the clock strikes midnight and 2025 arrives. The appeal are going to walk into a brand new year with all the gold for SPW at least. And who is going to be the men? Who are going to be the catalysts? Who are going to be the ones? I mean, you can look at it as a horseman reigning back in the time of the horsemen through the 80s and the 90s. How you could almost make references to the appeal being almost like John Moxley's Death Riders, this unstoppable force. Who are going to be the heroes that are going to come in and take down this group? I mean, it's a tall task.
Yeah, and the thing is too, it's not so much. They're all on, and what makes them a dangerous group is just they're all on the same page. There's no holes in their game. They know what they're doing, and that's what makes them dangerous.
Yes, no, I mean, it's very true. And we know Illuminate is holding the SPW title. I believe he's holding another title, but I mean, he's also a number one contender for the Ugly Dojo heavyweight title after we saw at this event last Saturday. So when is he going to cash in that ticket? Is Illuminate going to be the modern version or the newer incarnation of one Kenny Omega? Do we have a new belt collector? Could this man really reign supreme on a whole new level? Could this man walk into one Supreme Night with multiple company titles around his waist?
Very possible. Very possible.
So, I mean, anything's possible.
Wow. Well, and that's why we keep pushing, folks. You got to get out to these shows, get to know these folks, get to watch them grow. Because,
ladies and gentlemen, there's so much great talent that is
long before.
Yeah, there is just so much great talent floating around here, and when you follow Illuminate all these shows, because it's just exciting, because you always know you're gonna have a great match wherever he is, along with several other names. I mean, the Ugly Dojo show was amazing. Can't wait to see this one on Saturday. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. SPW in January is going to be the standard bearer for 2025. We know that the young lions of SPW are hungry. We know the ones holding all the gold are hungry and are going to defend what they have, the mountain they stand upon. It's going to be a hard battle to get to the top of that mountain. 2025 is going to be a year for SPW that may just be setting the world on fire. SPW may become a household name when it comes to independent wrestling.
And folks, and from coming from someone who's been to multiple companies over the years, and we had the household names, and we've heard them talk. Some of them still go around today, but they're not talked about like they once were. And SPW could be that name that's talked about in the long term when we're finally dust and our kids are talking about professional wrestling in California.
Oh, SPW could get anywhere. Could SPW be a name that might be talked about in the auras of GCW and some of these other independent companies that exist at a big level? Could SPW help set California independent wrestling back on the map? There are a lot of companies here. Some are a little bigger, some are a little smaller, some are in different areas of California. But I mean, there's a lot of names, and with a history of 25 years, SPW should stand shoulder above the rest. And that's what we try to do when we're there, is try to make them better, make it all better, because we just have so much love and passion for SPW, for independent pro wrestling. We can't, give enough credit to Big Ugly allowing us to be a part of the Ugly Dojo shows going forward. Can't wait to do more of that. Realm of Warriors and all the crew over there, being a part of the Warriors, and not the Ultimate Warriors, but the Realm of Warriors. Get it right or don't get it at all. Special times, special things coming. Can't wait to see Saturday. It'll be the match. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, who would have thought when we started this in the beginning, when you and your partner in crime started it, and then I jumped on, we were in a direction that pretty much everyone else were in.
Yeah.
And then the middle of this year, we veered off into a different direction to seem to blow up a lot more. And just, man, I mean, I can't be more thankful and appreciative of where we're at now for where we once were in July when we really started making a move.
Yeah, the year 2024 is just the start for the Value Wrestling. What me and Mr. Z will be doing with SPW, as we've been welcomed to that brand, what we do with Value Wrestling, what we do with Ugly Dojo, what we do with Collectible Stampede, Rebel Warriors Championship Wrestling, and we hope that list grows and grows and grows and moves forward. And we can't wait till the day we can finally set foot and go up to Reno, Nevada, and check out some of the stuff that Chupacabra, our buddy Choopy, is doing up there. Lots of exciting things to come very soon. And again, the door's open for anybody in the independent wrestling scene, booker, promoter, talent, to come right here on this show and talk about what you're doing, where you're going to be, why the people should come out and see you, why they need to come out and see these shows. Let's make independent wrestling great again. Let's make independent wrestling relevant. Let's make independent wrestling the best wrestling that you can. Let's make it where everybody is talking about independent wrestling and has to go to these shows. Let's sell out. Let's pack houses. Let's fill them from floor to ceiling. Let's get them hanging from the rafters in all these venues. That is what I like to see, is that, there's crowds on the outside, miles long, waiting to get into these venues, into these buildings, into these places to see this great action, because there's so much great talent that's coming through. It's going to be a peak season in independent wrestling in 2025, especially when you got WWE ID existing out there. This is the time for anybody who's an independent wrestler, period, to make their waves, because there is a door and a chance and an opportunity. All you have to do is show what you got and get that attention, stand out, and there may be a whole new world there. So I believe independent wrestling is in for something special in 2025. WWE just started this WWID thing. I think it's just going to help independent wrestling get bigger and better. I think it's going to make everybody push their game to the next level, because everybody has a little more to grab onto in that opportunity. And of course, with what WWE is doing, all you can look at is go, Tony and AEW is going to come up with something right behind it to capture those same things, because they don't want WWE to take everybody. They're going to want to get their fingertips into that. Does that start getting TNA into something? Do they bring back Gut Check in some way and start picking up people? WWE is going to pick up. They're going into the independent market, independent wrestling market. Tony Khan's, that's kind of been his saving grace for what, the keeping a heartbeat with Ring of Honor and some of the things at AEW. It's been independent wrestling in the local areas as they travel around and bringing these independent stars onto these shows, like we've seen Jack Hartwheel before, and Illumide and other names that are being called by Tony Khan. But if WWE signs them all to WWE ID deals, you know, that gives a little short list to other places to use them. So I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of talent upping their game, taking it to the next level, trying to find that niche and find that place, because, I mean, there's a lot of talent out here that wants to fight for that big hungry spot to get that contract, to call themselves WWID. I mean, who wouldn't? If you're an independent wrestler right now, it's a great time to really be an independent wrestler. There's a plethora of opportunity if you want to step up.
Well, not just that. I mean, you got to think about those that we've heard that are making that jump to go abroad and go to another country to learn their style of wrestling and bring that back home. So I mean, it's a beautiful time to be a wrestling fan, and it's a beautiful time to be a pro wrestler. There's so many opportunities out there, and all they got to do is show up and show out. Leave it all out there on the mat. That's pretty much it. Leave it all out there on the mat and go from there.
Independent wrestling, it's looking bright, and we want to be a part of that. We want to bring independent wrestling to the forefront, make independent wrestling great, relevant. We want to put people back into these buildings, pack out these venues. You know, we'd love to see independent wrestling grow from place to place. Can we get independent wrestling into some of these venues? Can we go to Stockton, to the arena there, and see independent wrestling there, and see a packed house there for independent wrestling? Can we go in these old armories, these old civic centers that still exist, and pack them out?
Exactly.
Anything's possible.
Exactly.
Hey, let's dream big. Let's pack out the Golden One Center in Sacramento. Let's pack out the SAP Center in San Jose. Let's go back to the Cow Palace. How about independent wrestling back in the Cow Palace? Sell these buildings out. Let's blow it big.
So long. It's been so long since an independent promotion set foot in the Cow Palace, and I remember that one. I'd like to see it again.
There you go. There you go. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Value of Wrestling. This is the IWCP, the Independent Wrestling Community Podcast, where we talk about everything independent wrestling. Next week is an open spot. If you want to step up to the challenge and start 2025, go off with a bang, reach out to us so we can get you on the channel, so we can promote independent wrestling, what you're doing in independent wrestling, where people can come see you, what is going on, what is your year, who's going to start it off. It'll be great. 2025, independent wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We'll have some more matches from the Big Ugly Show. We are still working on the SPW Hostile Holiday Show. Got to get that finalized. Hopefully we'll get some footage, some great stuff from this Saturday's Ugly Dojo Mayhem Matinee Show. Lots of stuff to give you. Then we're breaking into January, and it's just going to be hitting the floor running. Mr. Z?
Oh, yeah.
Tell them good night.
Good night, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see you on the next one, and that is for sure.